Hi, third graders. Today we'll be making a volcano. No, not that kind of volcano. We're going to be drawing a plot volcano. So grab your reader's notebook and a pencil and let's get started. Our target for today is I can discuss the plot of a story. Readers, when we understand plot, we better comprehend the story and its structure. Now, if we're going to plot volcano, we have to start by making our volcano. So draw with me your volcano for plot volcano. Now, if we were headed out for a hike up plot volcano, there's only one spot that we would start. That's right, at the base. And let's just say we were headed out there with a friend that day. We would start by introducing ourselves to each other. That place that you start at Plot Volcano, yep, it's the introduction. You can label it as so. And that's where you would be able to explain that you, as the character, were there with your friend for a great big hike today. Of course, we are also at a volcano, so that's our setting. This is the place we start. Now, there is only one way to go if we plan to hike our plot volcano today, and that is up. If we're headed up plot volcano, we call this the rising action. Now, as you can imagine, on our hike up, you would run into some problems. You bet. I know that I would have sore feet at some point. I know that my friend and I would argue over how much water we should have brought at one point. We keep on hiking up despite our problems until we reach the top. And it's here at the top, this spot called the climax, that we realize that we've met the greatest problem yet. We're hiking on an active volcano. A huge smoke plume comes out of the top of the volcano, and lava starts to spurt out as well. Well, we face this biggest problem, and it leads to quite a turning point. We make our way past the climax, and lo and behold, the sun is shining on the other side of the smoke plume, and the clouds are passing us by. We head back down the mountain as it's the volcano, as that's the only way to go. And in this spot, we have made it to the falling action. Now, there is still some action up ahead. We have to make our way down this long hike, but the greatest problems have passed. And we finally, at the end of the day, make it back down to the base of Plot Volcano, or the spot called the Resolution. I hope you remember our trip up Plot Volcano when you are working hard to practice discussing the plot of a story. Just remember, with every story, you start at the introduction. That is, there is the character or characters and setting. That's who, what, when, and where. The characters are the people, animals are things, and the setting is the place where they are. Now, the only place to go from there is up, and we call this the rising action, and here starts the plot. There's conflicts in the story along the way. You'll always want to be able to discuss exactly what those conflicts are. Like maybe the character has a problem with themselves or the world. You might be thinking, what should they do? And maybe there's some big argument or some dramatic natural event. It isn't until they reach the climax of the story, all the way up at Platte Volcano, where we just can't stop because there is the biggest problem. This also leads to a turning point. It's here in the story that you have the most intense emotions and drama and suspense. But action like this in a story cannot stay. The story must change, and we must go a different way. After the top of Flat Volcano, you're going to start back down. We call this the falling action, and it lasts until flat ground. There's still action here, but it'll start to slow down. The worst is over. There's just a little more to do. After climbing down Platte Volcano, it ends at the resolution. The conflict ends. Now, there is one more thing to label on your Platte Volcano, and that is the main message. Just like a volcano has its own life deep down inside of it, so too does a story. Hidden inside of the story by looking closely at all of the events 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, you will find a main message running its course through the entire story. And that's why we put main message right here in the middle of our Platte Volcano. Thanks for going on that strenuous hike and dangerous hike with me up Platte Volcano. Now, if you missed any of those labels for Platte Volcano, you can go back in this video and pause the video and record those labels on your Platte Volcano. When you're all done, I want you to open up the Google Doc with a Platte Volcano on it and click on the empty spaces to fill in the events for the 3 little tamales. Keep up the great work, readers.